With a bit of luck, we might be on now.
I don't know. Is there anybody there?
We'll never know.
We might do.
Apparently, there is at least one person watching.
Hello.
Hello, one person. We better start off by apologising for being late, haven't we? So this is our first live stream.
As you can tell.
Yeah. And I'd been practicing to make sure this was all ready, and then a weird bug happened just before we were going live.
Basically, I sat down.
You sat down, we're just getting this weird echo. Anyway, it turned out I'd left it on the other PC that was sat near this one, and it would pick up an echo.
So we're here. And hopefully you can hear us.
With a bit of luck. So, we've got a special cocktail of the day.
Oh, courtesy of Denise. Thank you, Denise. I promise I have not tried it.
No, neither of us have tried it yet.
This is a Witcher cocktail.
It is. Denise very kindly sort of sent us this recipe through. Recipe's going along the bottom now. So it contains rye and vermouth and some Earl Grey and some vanilla and some branded cherries and all sorts of things.
Right. So
shall we give it a go? See what it's like?
Yes. Cheers.
And cheers, everyone.
Is that why it's that? Is this the right colour?
Well, it's the right colour for what I've made.
Okay.
Give it a go.
Oh.
That's got a kick on that one, hasn't it?
Wowzers. I needed that though after as little trauma. We've got a little message. I think.
Well, we've got some various comments.
What's this comment?
Lorraine says, Hi, Lorraine.
Hi, Lorraine. I'm not going to look at the thing now because, one, I've not got my glasses on.
I'm very impressed that you could even see anything then.
It was just a little red blob. I was just like, what is that?
Well, if you do have any questions, please do put them in the chat. We did ask people in advance when we knew we were coming up to the 1,000 to...
You asked.
I asked, yeah, for people to send us some questions in advance, just in case nobody turned up, because there were every possibility we were going to be sat here talking to ourselves a normal Sunday.
Yeah, even as family, we're like, we're busy.
We can't even make the numbers up with family and friends. We're like, nah, we're going to go see Maverick today. So we have got some questions. I've had to copy them in, so slight apologies on that.
And I'm not looking them. I'm not looking.
Irish in the USA.
Oh!
What are your bucket list travel plans? What trip would you never do again, and why? And to be clear, Lindsay hasn't seen any of these questions before.
No. I purposefully kept myself out of it.
So,
I like to go into it blind.
I do. Bucket list travel plans.
I would like to do the one South America where you do
Machu Picchu
because of the couscous and you go on the little train, and of course you cruise down the coast, and some even include Easter Island, which looks I like all that mystical. I'd like to do that one and drink.
We'd like to do Alaska and Hawaii.
Yeah, I mean the classics like Northern Lights. We'd like to see. It's just the Northern Lights don't really behave, though, do they?
No, they turn up if they want to turn up. So.
And then you get sort of called in the middle of the night, and you have to go see them when on their terms, which I appreciate. The Northern Lights, but
it's the nature of them. For me, I really want to do Japanese.
Oh, you
cruise.
Do, yeah.
So to go
circumnavigate
Japan.
And we even talked about doing from Tokyo to Singapore and calling it all.
We've got to save up and just basically do nothing other than save up for that.
Yeah.
So what would we never do again, and why? That's a harder one.
Never say never. I don't think we'd do. I don't know. We
did transatlantic, the northern one, in really, really rough weather. Yeah. But that wouldn't stop me doing it again. In fact, we're doing a transatlantic later this year.
I think we'd be more prepared with like remedies and that kind of thing. But I do think we kidded ourselves. I think I was like, oh, it'll be like a mill pond. It'll be beautiful.
But a couple of days it was.
Yeah.
But I don't think there is a trip that we'd never do again.
I don't
There's
think
ones
so.
that we'd prioritise doing other things for
No,
first.
for example, if we were doing the Mediterranean that does Rome and Naples and
You try to do
Pisa
some-
and Florence,
you do
we
some
do
other places
Florence,
first.
not Pisa, because Pisa's,
Well, we've been there.
yeah, we've done it. And once you've got your picture, you've done It's so classic.
Yeah. So yeah, there's not one we want to do. There's just a few ports that we'd rather change.
Yeah.
What have we got next?
Oh, I don't know. You tell
Andrew.
me.
Andrew Taylor.
Hi, Andrew.
Thank you. Do you book a cruise direct with the cruise company or with an agent? If flights and hotels are required, do you book them yourself?
Now, this is an excellent question, Andrew. So what we do, well, it is a good question.
It's a good question.
What we do is, if it's really late to the game, that we're going to depart very soon, we use a travel agent and we get a deal. What we do is, when you say book direct, we take advantage of the onboard booking deal on
Yeah,
a
because
ship.
there's been some great ones.
There's been some great ones. And then what we do is then top it and tail it with a travel agent. And we've make friends with the travel agent, and then they just bookend your hotel and flights for you. And usually you just give your cruise booking reference, and there'll be some special rates that they can get hold of that we would never be able to source because we're not travel agents. And they find you the best price and the most direct route, and that's how we tend to do it.
But
we like to book on board. It's a bit of a, we get some on board.
Well, you get excited for your next cruise, then, don't you?
Yeah.
But it's not a hard and fast rule.
No, we're quite flexible.
We met a lovely couple on the Virgin cruise not long since, Karen and Stuart. Didn't call him Martin this time, so if you're watching, learnt my lesson. But it is Martin Travel, not just for travel.
Yeah, and we made we explained what we needed, and they've been great. So
yeah, they found us a flight at a really good rate when we were really struggling.
Yeah,
so
we try and top and tail it.
Yeah, so that worked. So we've got hi Karen.
Hi Karen.
We don't know if it's the same Karen. Could be the same Karen. Could be a different Karen. We will never know unless she actually puts in the comments. Yes, it's me.
It's me. That Karen.
Next question from Steve P. This looks genuinely like I wrote this one.
What is it?
It says, "What are your thoughts on offering some merchandise?"
Oh God, it is you.
I swear this is not me. I think have a lovely day. Let's see what we can see. T-shirts would be very popular. Yeah, we've not thought about that.
Well, we have, but in like epic scale, like and like a whole range of things. But again, it's just not like your classic T-shirts and things, but all sorts. I mean,
maybe one day.
Maybe one day. I just
we got a bag made. You got a bag made up for me that says Sweet Nature on, but that was just for me.
Yeah.
It's not for sale. But yeah, maybe one day.
Yeah, maybe one day.
But yeah, if you've any other questions, please do put them in as we're going through. Anything you'd like to know about sort of why we decided to do this, what our favourite cruise lines are, anything like that. We did actually have another question in, which I forgot to put in, which is, what's our favourite cruise line and why?
Oh, it depends what mood we're in. Would you agree?
Yeah, to a degree. I mean, I'd rather go on any cruise than no cruise.
That's true. Because we tend to, as you probably noticed, we don't do day vlogs, day one vlog, day two cruise vlog. We don't do that because they get really boring.
For us.
Really quickly. And for you, especially.
Yeah, that's
what
I meant. I mean, of us.
Of us,
because it'd be us eating food, us drinking cocktails, us playing trivia.
Doing Wordle. It would, sitting on this sun lounger, going in because it's got too sunny, going and just having a look around the town, it wouldn't, you don't need that. You don't need that.
But cruise lines, just coming back to them.
Oh yes.
We start a slight tangent there. So we started out on Royal Caribbean. That was the very first cruise line we did, and we actually stayed loyal to Royal for about the first 10 cruises.
You didn't want to go.
On our first cruise?
Yeah.
No, because I used to get seasick going up France to ferry. Karen's just put, what are your favourite cruise line? Only been on P&O. Ha ha ha, love Wordle. So thank you for that, Karen.
We do love Wordle. That's why the Wi-Fi's got to be good on a ship.
But Royal is fantastic. Royal Caribbean's Oasis class ship is still my favourite class of ship.
You love that ship.
I know it's not everyone's cup of tea. I know some people like the
smaller ships,
but it's mine in particular for the Central Park area.
You just love to sit with a glass of wine and some nibbles and watch the world go by, and then go to Chops or maybe just
150 Central Park.
Yeah, just you love it in there. The little bird sounds, everything.
But that's why I personally like the Oasis class. But from a cruise line, we did Cunard recently. You've probably seen the video that we did for that. That amazed me how much I really enjoyed that. That was a cruise line I really didn't want to do. As you can see, this is my normal attire.
It is.
The thought of having to wear sort of dinner jackets and shirts or ties, it was really not appealing. So I wasn't looking forward to that. Turned out it wasn't what either of us thought it was going to be. It was far, far better.
We find that we've got to where we've gone, oh, we're going to love NCL. It's going to be amazing. And then we've gone, oh, this is not what we expected. And then we thought, oh, Cunard, we're going to try it. It may be not us. We went, absolutely loved it. The same could be said about Virgin.
Virgin, we weren't going to do Virgin.
I was so turned off from Virgin voyages.
If you saw when Virgin was originally advertising it in sort of 2019, 2020, it really was advertising it as being for the sort of Ibiza crowd.
Even though it wasn't that kind of pricing.
No, but they were saying, this is aimed at the 20s, the 30s, etc. And it was only when we'd spoke to some other vloggers who'd been on.
Ben and David, because I asked them about the bed. I was like, guys, what is the sofa bed situation like? And they were like, it's really comfy. Don't worry about it. And we're like, okay, we're going to book it. And we did. But then as we were about to press book, I was like, how much is the suite? Because that's got a bed. So that's how we
That's why we ended that. But I think if I have to pick a cruise line at this moment in time,
if we could go tomorrow, the suitcase is over there. It's over there. I'm going to say, and you're going to go, nope.
Go on.
Celebrity.
Is that what you'd pick?
I think so.
Why?
Because I want to try Edge, and we haven't tried Edge yet. And the reason we haven't tried Edge is because every time we cost it, we cry.
Yeah, it's
a little tear.
Yeah, Celebrity's got a little bit pricier.
We've done. I mean, okay, the pricing is always good on the transatlantic, and that's what we did on the beautiful Celebrity Eclipse.
We did.
We got amazing pricing on that.
Yeah, but then the price has never been like that price again.
Never seen it again. But
Celebrities, that sort of really good blend of sort of Princess and Cunard and Royal to a degree, and even Virgin to a degree.
These glasses are Riker glasses that we saw on Celebrity.
And then you wanted to get some.
I wanted to get some. We could only afford two. We don't have a set, but we
have a set of two. There's only two of us.
This is true, but we loved it very much. Wonderland, not Wonderland. Cuisine. We loved. What was the restaurant with the souffle?
Murano. Murano indeed, Lindsay.
But that souffle. I still think about that souffle. And the man with his little trolley and cooking. It was amazing. Loved it. So that's, if we could go tomorrow. That's
You've gone Celebrity.
What are you going on? Are you not coming with me?
Well, I'm going to come on that one, but then which one would I go on after it? Probably Virgin.
Again?
I know, but I like it.
It is, yeah, I know. It's you can get dressed up without having to contest a cosplay. You can,
the restaurants are
amazing. But
we've never had a bad meal on that.
No, but I was thinking, and nobody's asked this about restaurants, but I was thinking the only thing I'd change about Test Kitchen, the food is phenomenal and very out there. But with Wonderland, it feels a little bit more intimate on Royal Caribbean. You can have more of a romantic evening in Wonderland than you can in Test Kitchen.
I don't think they were trying to go for that though.
No, I know, but I like us to go on a date night with some fancy food.
Karen's just said Cunard's on our radar. I was worried it was too posh like you were.
Yeah, no, it's
not. There are people that do get dressed up.
We saw somebody with a briefcase when we were queued up.
When we were getting on.
What have we done?
This may not be for us, but there's some people who get dressed up for dinner each evening. But that applies when you're on Royal Caribbean or P&O or Celebrity or Virgin.
Yeah.
So it's not really that.
No.
But it's just a very traditional experience.
Yeah.
You wouldn't go on Cunard if you want there to be, a go-kart track like there is on NCL or a Formula One simulator like on MSC or a bowling alley. It's not got them.
No.
But the entertainment's great, the trivia is great, the restaurants are really good, the bars are good.
Trivia. They have the best trivia we've ever done because you have to, what was it called?
Wipeout trivia.
Wipeout trivia is my favourite trivia ever because it all just goes on how much you want to bet and the last, not in cash value, of course, but in points value. And we won.
But it's not only that. You don't get pens. You get booze.
Yes. Which we knew we were going to like it.
When we entered the first one and won 2 bottles of wine.
And we'd already taken the package. So we were like, wow, well, souvenir.
So Karen, don't worry that it's too posh.
No.
It's really not. You can win bottles of wine. That's all you need to know. You don't have to.
I mean, the staff, unlike Virgin Voyages, the staff are, you can tell who's who with Cunard. Whereas on Virgin, everybody wears the same type of outfit, apart from Beautiful Abbey and the sort of entertainment team. But that's it, really.
Karen agrees that booze is a winner. So let us know when you've been on Cunard and won the Wipeout trivia.
Yeah, we love their Wipeout trivia. I mean, wow. If we'd have known about it before, we'd have gone before because we're quite geeky. So it was perfect for us.
It was. It's the fact that you can double or nothing it. But some people were playing it careful. They were just like gambling like 200 or 300 points out of 1,000. It's like there's no prize for second place. There literally wasn't a prize for second place.
No, there wasn't. No.
So, what's your favourite sort of activity that you've ever done or that you like to do that's not trivia that we've done? Because obviously there's zip lines, there's escape rooms, there's pools and all that sort of stuff.
I mean, they're quite novelty value, are they? The zip lines and the escape room.
Well, you do it once.
That's it. You do it once to say you've done it. And like the skydiving. Favourite activity? Oh, this is going to sound really sad. I like it when we've been on excursion and on an excursion. Don't matter what excursion, we've been on some very interesting ones. I mean, I can't say no, but it's for another time. But we've been on some very interesting ones, and I always like getting back on, getting in the lift, going up, and getting a nice drink.
That's not an activity. That's just you drinking again.
That's a fabulous activity. After an
no, but I'm meaning
you talk about the excursion.
Right. Let's caveat this. What's your favourite activity to do that's not drinking or eating?
Let me think about this.
Whilst you have a drink.
I
think probably my favourite thing that I've done that I've seen on a ship that I've not seen on, or not as easy to do on land, is public flow rider. Mainly because it's just fun to do, but it's also fun to watch, especially people walking out.
Big resorts like Moon Palace and things like that in Mexico, and some in Tenerife now. But I still can't. I'm having to think because I like a spa treatment, but I don't like the spa. Like, oh, you should get this product for $90.
I really don't like that part of it.
And it puts me on edge for the last 15 minutes of any treatment. oh, this oil will be really good for you. It's $150. I'm like, So I get anxious at the end of it. The thing, like, I don't want that. So I can't say that. What else? That's not drinking or eating
Or trivia.
or trivia. We don't go to the art auctions because
We don't.
we don't.
We've got our one piece about that.
Which we bought from Salts Mill. I'm trying to think what it is.
If you can't think of it, you don't have to give me an answer. If there's no activity at all that you like doing, it's not Wordle, drinking or eating, it puts you in really good light.
This is why we don't do, oh, look at us vlog, cruise day vlog 1. Because then we're just like, oh, how many times can we get a Wordle?
No, but I'll tell you ones that we've done that we do like.
I like an afternoon nap.
Hammock, side of a pool, anywhere's fine.
I like getting ready and you sitting on the balcony.
Again, that's not an activity.
Telling me what you can see.
That's definitely not an activity. I've got some that I think that you like, which we've done. This is specific to Virgin, so it might sound like I'm pushing Virgin a bit, which I'm not.
I am trying to think.
They do some activities that are a little bit different. And
like a cookery class.
Yeah, but they do it where it's a mixture of cookery, photography, and drinking. That's 2 of your 3 favourite things.
Now, my favourite cookery class was on Celebrity. Do you remember?
Was that in cuisine?
Yes.
Where they brought some really expensive wine out.
Yes.
And said it was unlimited.
Yes. And I basically, because we had a drinks package, but of course the wine's not always covered.
And that wine definitely wanted. It was quite an expensive wine.
Yeah, and I basically drank the cost of the cookery class.
Easily.
And also I got confused with the wet and dry chicken bath. I didn't know what that was about. Do you remember?
I remember that you were very sozzled.
Which then I had to go for another one of my favourite activities, a nap.
Well, I took the cooking bit really serious.
Did,
and you basically got quite drunk and took it less serious.
I had a great time.
Than I did.
It was a great time. It's my favourite cooking class ever. So yeah, I like a cooking class with booze. I realise I sound like Sue Ellen Ewing in this today.
A little bit, as you all didn't drink there. One of the bits that I'm looking forward to, if we just talk about some of the upcoming cruises that we've got, we're going to be going on World Europa, MSC's new one in February.
Yes.
Out of Dubai, which that should be amazing.
Yeah.
But they have some really out there stuff in terms of activities and entertainment. Yeah, they've got the escape rooms, but they've got the Formula 1 simulator, which I really want to have a go at, the 10-pin bowling.
That's very you.
But
I meant to be, and also they meant to have the best prosecco at sea as well. So
this is not doing our reputation of sort of just caring about food and drink any. Well, it's not doing any harm because it's absolutely true. So we're going on the MSC World Europa later in the year. We're doing Enchanted Princess
in August.
So we put that out to the vote.
Yes, we did
on the channel, and thank you everyone that voted. Queen Mary actually came out top, and we did attempt to book it.
Yeah,
we just couldn't get it to work.
With the dates work and my holiday entitlement. We also looked to book Queen Anne, but deposits on that, wowzers, 15%
for 2 years from now. So we will be going on Queen Anne when it comes out. We'll probably be doing the fjords
with the Northern Lights, which is why I'm like, those Northern Lights don't behave.
But we've not booked that one yet.
No, we're having a look. And see.
We've got, what else have we got coming up? We've got the 3rd Virgin ship.
Yes. And then we've been really cheeky and we've booked a cruise we didn't think we'd ever book, but we've booked a really fancy room, haven't we?
We have. Should we come back onto that in a second?
Okay, I'll have a drink.
Because that one's a little bit further out.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Not too far out. But we've got, let's say we've got Virgin Resilient Lady.
Yeah.
And that'll be a really interesting one for us to try, because Virgin up to now we've done a 4-night on Scarlet.
Yes.
We did a 3-night on Valiant.
Yes.
And then on this one, we're doing transatlantic from Lisbon to San Juan which is 11 nights.
Yeah.
So, will it be able to hold our sort of love of it for that period of time where you've got those sort of same restaurants? I mean, you've got the same restaurants and all of them, but they don't have like a main dining room where it changes each night.
I mean, the internet is not great on Virgin, so I'm worried about my Wordle. Just in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean.
It's probably going to be far better in the Atlantic Ocean because the satellite coverage in the English Channel is far worse, and that's where we've been on them predominantly.
Is that true?
It is genuinely true, yeah.
So okay, we'll see.
We will report back on that. But that'll be really interesting to see, what's the entertainment like on a longer Virgin cruise. As I say, the food bit, it's not that you go into a main dining room on the other ships and it's a different menu each night.
Uh-huh.
The ones on the Virgin ships are the same menus in each of the restaurants.
Yeah.
So
there's
lots of choices.
Yeah. Oh goodness, yes, yeah.
But that'll be really interesting to see how that pans out.
Yeah.
Because we couldn't do the Queen Mary when we're going on Enchanted Princess.
Yes.
And we're doing that in August.
Yes.
And that'll be our second Princess cruise.
Uh-huh.
But the first one of that ship type.
Yes.
So that's the same as Sky Princess.
And we've booked a crazy room.
Have we?
We've booked one right at the front, which is either the best idea we've ever had or the worst idea we've ever had.
I forgot we'd done that.
Oh. So we'll come, of course, let you know how that goes, because it was like...
But we're only going to Rotterdam on that, aren't we, in Channel Islands?
Yeah. But...
Right, so that it shouldn't be too bad. And it's in August. How bad can it be? We'll take some extra seasickness tablets just in case. And then the one that you were alluding to earlier, which we've actually just booked today.
Yes, we have.
Which is for next year.
Yeah.
Because you've got a bigger birthday coming up. It's your 21st.
Yes.
More or less. And we were originally going to be doing the Panama.
Yes.
But we're going to do that a little bit later now.
Mainly because Eurovision, because I like Eurovision. But that's a different story. We'll come to that
at some other point.
Yes.
But we're looking at all these different ones as to what we can do for your birthday. And your suggestion today was a cruise line that I didn't think we would ever do.
But I had a genius idea.
Well, genius is subjective. It's either going to be a really good idea
or the worst idea I've ever had.
Or really bad
but
idea.
I'll admit it, though.
Well, we will report back on this in March. Do you want to tell them what we're going to be doing? In May.
We've booked their fancy.
Who have we booked? You haven't told anyone.
Oh, we've booked Marella, Tui, and we've booked their fancy room with. I've always wanted a hot tub on the balcony. I've coveted a hot tub on the balcony. Perfect for doing wordling and
and drinking.
And
Wordle with a view.
And the same cruise for on doing Celebrity or Azamara or something for their lovely
for a suite with a hot tub on the balcony.
Or their super lovely bath, the way you look
was
out.
at least double, wasn't it?
It was double. It was like
at
for
least.
One person, it was the same price that we booked for two. So
so we're doing Marella.
Yeah, Adriatic.
So we're doing what, Dubrovnik and Venice and places?
Venice and Qatar and Split and things like that.
Okay. I didn't actually look at it. I just booked it. You just told me I didn't actually look at the itinerary, which is my bad. So if it's a really bad itinerary...
No, it's not. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Being Game of Thrones fans, we've been to Croatia before.
We've been to Dubrovnik. It's stunning.
We love it. So, it's either the best or the worst idea I've ever had. But we'll let you know.
But yeah, if you'd have asked me yesterday, would we be booking Marella anytime soon, I'd have said no. But in the same way that I said that with Cunard, I'd said I don't think I fancy it. Now, this particular cruise, I did notice because it said when I was closing it out, is adults only. So that in itself, I suspect will be better. And the Royal Caribbean trips. So hopefully It'll be good. If you've done Marella, let us know in the comments if you got any questions about sort of us going on Enchanted Princess, about Resilient, about World Europa. World Europa is the one that I'm really excited for.
It's like a spaceship.
Yeah, it looks like, what's the one? Floxton Paradise from Fifth Element.
Yeah.
It looks incredibly modern. But
Hopefully
if you've any
without
questions about
the
any of them,
alien
let us know.
invasion, that would be good.
Without an alien invasion.
Yeah.
Yeah, that Fifth Element sort of reference there, that be
Told you we were geeky.
preferred not to be.
Have we any more questions? Is that it? Am I done?
Are you done? But you can ask me a question if you want.
I've got to ask you, is that all our questions?
It's all the questions so far.
Oh, okay. World cruise.
What? You just want a yes or no?
I'm just thinking, if you could, who would you go on a world cruise with? Because I genuinely want to know this, because I'd like to go on a world cruise.
No, that's absolutely top of our bucket list.
But it's, who do you go with? Do you like have to take a second mortgage and go with like Regent, or and like cash in your retirement, or do you look at P&O, or what do you do? Who do we go with?
Who would I most like to, or who do I think realistically we'll do it with when we do it?
Let's do both.
Okay, so who would I most like to at Regent Seven Seas?
That's
without any question. But yeah, that's a like nearly a second mortgage holiday for.
It's a house.
And that's when you're doing like the 120 plus nights. And
Vikings the same. Vikings that kind
but
of.
But given the longest cruise we've done is just over 2 weeks, I think that would be maybe too big a jump to go straight to a world cruise anyway.
So we'd have to do
So I'd try and do like a 25,
like
30,
a grand
30 night
tour kind of thing.
Yeah. I've always wanted to do sort of Southampton to Perth or Southampton to Sydney. I think that would be a fantastic one to do.
Yeah.
Going down sort of Middle East and down to Asia, Singapore.
Yeah.
And down that way, that'd be really good. Who do I think it's most likely that we will do one with? Depending on the feedback that happens this time from people, possibly Royal Caribbean, because they've started doing
it, and it's sold out really quickly.
Well, they give you the option. You could book the whole thing,
or they did it segments.
I can't remember if it was 3, 4, 5 different segments that you could book.
Maybe you'd have to do that. Maybe you do a taster segment first to see how long. Because I get sea legs and land legs after a week. So yeah.
Can you imagine what your sea legs would be like after like 4 months?
Just go out.
But
not from the booze.
So who would you want to do it with them?
You see, the MSC ships are quite small. They're the smaller ones, aren't they?
They do. The World
Cunard. I would have never thought I'd say this, but Cunard. But it's getting all your outfits in rotation. Because for you as a guy, it's pretty straightforward.
Shirt, trousers, jacket.
The thing. But for ladies, it's different. How many, I mean, if you're getting on at Southampton, I feel you'd be like Miss Piggy with all the luggage.
Karen's just said they've got a 35 night at Christmas and a 65 night in 2024.
Wow.
Colour us jealous.
Wow. Wowzers.
You can't just leave it at that, Karen. Put it in the comments as to where you're going on a 35 and a 65.
So when we were on Cunard and I walked past the little gap, look at me doing a little walking.
Is that your walking impression? It's like watching sort of David Attenborough on Planet Earth and slowly walking across.
I did it again. I walked past the Future Cruise desk in Cunard, which is a guy in a little alcove that you have to make a formal appointment with and ring, and there's no putting you like stateroom down
or just walking up
or turning up or anything. And as I walked past, somebody was booking a 72 night cruise, and I was like, wowzers, that's a baller move.
But Karen's got a 35 night at Christmas.
I
know. That just sounds an amazing one.
Should we guess? I was saying Caribbean then. I was saying Caribbean.
And we've also got a hello from Vancouver.
Ooh.
On Queen Elizabeth Gala night,
Yes.
does everyone dress for the theme, or can you wear your fancy evening wear as you please?
Now it depends what the theme is, I guess. So
It does.
on
We had 2 on our 7-night one.
we had monochrome,
So black and white.
and we
Being
had
clear.
1920s night. Is that right?
Yeah.
Now I'm not built for a flapper dress, so I got a
flapper dress.
flapper dress. That's what they're called.
I thought you said something else.
They're called a flapper dress.
Yeah.
I'm not built for that. So I got like a beaded dress and a little zhuzh headband, and you had 2 dinner jackets, and you had the plain black one for the black and white night with a dicky bow with a black tie with white dots on, with polka dots on, and I had a black and white dress. So, but they also have red and gold night as well. I guess there were people not. Some had gone really extreme. They had the feather and everything. Do you remember?
Yep.
Some people went really super flapper. I'd like to...
Flapper.
and the guys were in dinner jackets. And
but I mean, going back to what the question was of, can you wear your fancy evening wear as you please?
Yes.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
So even on the theme nights, there were some people even on the gala nights, even though there is an expectation that you dress up, still weren't.
Oh no, but were very few.
Very few.
Very few
but
people had. I mean, like we said before, when we actually boarded the ship, people were in. There was a guy in a suit and a briefcase.
Yeah.
So people like to dress up. I think it's probably easier if you're cruising out of Southampton and you are from the UK, luggage allowance wise, because it gets
you can take an extra case or 2.
Yeah, it gets you on. It's the luggage allowance. It's like.
Yeah, so you should be able to wear your fancy evening wear as you fancy. And we've got some cruising royalty on.
Who's that?
Emma Cruises.
Emma!
Hi, Emma. And she's got COVID at the moment. Emma.
I know she has. Bless her.
Hope you feeling
I feel this
better.
Well, you don't drink, but
If you did, this would be the one to get rid of COVID. So hello, Emma, and obviously hello everyone else.
Has Emma got a question, or is she just there?
No, she's just saying that it's lovely to see her from a COVID bed. You can't see any of the questions, can you?
No.
No glasses on from there.
No.
Karen's not come back yet to tell us where a 35
She's
night and
typing
65
it out. It's that
it's
long.
so long.
Oh my goodness.
And Emma said that she loves packing light, but Cunard has me beaten. One dress takes up half a suitcase. I think it was similar for you, wasn't it?
That's it. That is the thing. It's just like, and then it's, yeah.
But when you're getting on a home port, whether that's in sort of coming out of New York, whether it's Southampton, wherever it is that you're getting on, as long as if you're going back there, it don't matter, because you can take 20 suitcases.
Yeah, and also if it's got any like beading on it or any kind of sequins or anything kind of zhuzh, you've got to be so careful packing it and everything. I had like packing stuff.
You had packing stuff
to like protect my. I did.
You did, yeah. But yeah, I mean, Emma's right. When you go on something like Cunard where you have got fancier ones,
yeah,
you really do almost need a dedicated case for sort of all the shoes and jackets and shirts and
then you've got to think else. I hope if you're flying that this suitcase arrives.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, because it's your pricey suitcase.
Yeah,
replacing it is going to be, wowzers. I can see it moving, but that's all I can see. Another drink.
I do want to do a transatlantic, but the luggage would weigh too much for the plane. I'd have to go there and back. But that's just an excuse, Emma, for you to do a transatlantic both directions, which that's a perfectly good excuse.
We've been looking. There are some deals out there where you go on one ship and then come back on another brand, and it's just getting the dates right. But
yeah, which was the one we looked at the other day? Because it were going across
on Cunard.
No, they were coming back on Cunard. So we're going down to the Caribbean and then you ended up in Miami. Then it did an American tour through on land.
Oh, it was super pricey.
It wasn't that crazy, I don't think.
I don't know. Well,
we shall see anyway.
Yeah, and maybe one day again you have to get your abacus out.
On Queen Elizabeth Alaska cruise in 4 weeks. Oh wow.
Oh my goodness.
That'll be so good.
How do you pack for that with everything?
So not only do you have to pack for Cunard generally,
yes,
you've also got to pack, but it's Alaska in sort of early summer.
A lot of layers.
So I'm guessing it's not going to be as bad.
I think you might need a ghillie. And every time I'm after a ghillie, it's like, no, you look like, no, you don't cap. No, so I go for a poncho.
Oh, we're glad that the videos have been useful for you to sort of watch in run up to that. But yeah, cheers. Have an amazing time on the Alaska one.
Wowzers.
That'll be absolutely fantastic. Emma said, I'd go across on Cunard and come back on Norwegian or something.
Oh, yes.
Once I'm fed up of dressing up for dinner. I think going across on Cunard would be a better way because obviously all your fancy outfits, you've got
to wear out of them.
Yeah, you're not going to have to do that side of it.
No, that's a good idea. Yes, because then you can just chill.
Yeah,
coming back then with you.
I think that I've just remembered the other one was going across on Celebrity. So it was Celebrity through to Fort Lauderdale, then a land tour up to New York, and then back on Queen Mary.
I feel like if I were Wile E. Coyote, I'd have like dollar signs going around in my eyes.
Well, that was one of the ones that we looked at, and then you decided for your birthday that you wanted to do Marella Explorer 2.
I just want the whirlpool on the balcony.
But we have booked the Royal Suite for that, so we shall let you know what it's like to do Wordle in a whirlpool.
Wordle in a whirlpool?
That's got to be a hashtag on Instagram. If it's not, we're definitely doing that.
Oh.
The Alaska cruise as an icy white themed gala night.
Ooh.
That sounds like a fantastic one.
It does, yes. It does. Oh, I'm thinking what I would wear for that. Wow.
Alaska's very, very high on our cruise agenda. I would like to think we'll get one in next year to Alaska.
I'm thinking Elsa style cape.
You are absolutely imagining getting dressed up as someone from Frozen, right?
No.
Can I get dressed up as Olaf?
You can be Olaf. That'll
do for me.
What's the moose called?
Sven. You're going to say I can be Sven. The sauna.
I like the sauna as well. That's a nice activity.
But yeah, I have an amazing time on Queen Elizabeth in there.
Oh my god!
I want actually. I mean, I've never looked, but I want to wear Queen Elizabeth did Alaska.
Well, I've seen, but that sounds amazing. I feel like we should be just checking stuff as the people are telling us.
Just making the notes on.
Yeah.
Well, the good thing about it, as we're recording these, all the comments are there, and we get to just make notes of other cruises we want to do in the future.
Lovely.
You got anything else you would like to talk about? Or any other questions?
That I'd like to ask you.
Yeah, you can ask people watching.
Oh, yes, I get.
You don't just have to ask me.
I forget.
It is a Q&A. It's meant to be them asking us, I think, as opposed to us asking them, but it doesn't specify that we can ask people.
No. What is the perfect length cruise? Not seriously, what is the perfect length cruise?
For me, I think 14 nights.
14 nights.
Yeah.
But when it's 14 nights, it's not for you, like your holiday entitlement and stuff. It messes with that, doesn't
but you
it?
didn't ask me that. You say what's perfect length?
14 nights.
Because
okay.
the problem with
14 nights Southampton or 14 nights.
Not from anywhere.
Okay.
I'm not bothered about that. The problem with the 3 and 4 night ones, they're great, but you just get into relaxing, and then
you have to get off.
Well, you get the worst thing in the world. You get the luggage tags on your bed. You've only been on there 2 nights.
I hate those luggage tags
because you get them 2 days before.
I mean, the couple of is it Cunard and Virgin? You keep your same luggage tags on. I prefer that. Walking into your room and finding those, I was going to swear, those luggage tags. Oh, I hate it. And then your letter.
Just saying, here's what you need to put. So that's why I don't like the 3 and 4 night one.
And the night before just seems just to fly, because you're like, either you have to put your luggage out, or you get reminded of it as you walk back along the corridor, and everybody's got
Right, I'll correct what I just said there. It's not that I don't like 3 and 4 night cruises. I would rather do a 3 and 4
night
cruise.
But they make them go quicker with the luggage.
But they do go by very, very quick. And you don't get anywhere near enough time to see everything.
No.
You can't check all the restaurants. You can't. They're a really good break.
Yeah.
We've never done a 2 night cruise.
No. We've looked at them.
But
it's because we're in the north, it's a bit of a trek for us to just hop on one.
Yeah, I think maybe if we were down south, maybe if we were a little bit closer to Southampton, or if they were doing like Liverpool or Newcastle.
It's very rare they do that. No.
But the 2 night ones just don't appeal to me
maybe
as much.
If we ever move.
If we move and we're closer, then we'll jump on the 2 night ones. What's your favourite entertainment show that you've ever seen?
Has somebody asked this?
No, I've just asked you.
Oh.
I mean, we can come back to that. We can give it time to think, because we've just had, have we done or do we plan to do a Hawaii cruise?
I would love to do a Hawaii.
Yeah, Hawaii's on our bucket list. One of the first questions we answered at this was, what was our bucket list?
Yeah, I mean, it's huge. It's huge, but Hawaii we would love. And I think there's just, I'd love to do Hawaii.
I mean, the perfect one would be flying over to Florida, doing the Panama through to LA, then going from LA over to Hawaii, or even better, if we potentially did it as taking in Hawaii en route to Japan. That's right up there as my dream one, I think.
Wowzers, that sounds fantastic.
That doesn't sound cheap though, does it?
No. No.
But no, so far we've not done Hawaii.
I mean,
but
it's on the list.
Yeah,
it's on the list.
It absolutely is on there. Would you like to do Alaska first or Hawaii first? I think Alaska. I mean, ideally, if we're over that side anyway.
I love how you can say that. I'd like to do Alaska. But then you do it in the different seasons, don't you? You don't have
Which is your favourite one that you've done so far? Which destination?
Cruise ever?
Yeah. Don't have to be the cruise line or destination.
And I've got to say the Caribbean, and then when we went to the Caribbean, but Cozumel, and was it Uncle Sancho's? What's it called?
It is called Uncle Sancho's.
Is it
Mr. Sancho's?
Mr. Sancho's, but we called it Uncle Sancho's. What a day we had there! Wowzers! What a day! We still reference it now, don't we?
Yeah, we went. I went on some jet skis, and we had some of your relatives with us.
They're our relatives.
They are, but Graham doesn't swim well, and I persuaded him to come on a jet ski with me.
In his
to this day,
designer sunglasses.
I've never come off a jet ski before. I would like to add, I've never come off one since, but Graham was on with me and had his designer prescription sunglasses on and fell off the back of the jet ski.
It's almost like I was sat just on the lovely Sunlander with Roxanne drinking one of those really long tube cocktails. I realise I'm painting a picture here of me with a problem. I looked over and then
to be fair,
you went one way, he went the other.
But I then swam round and got him.
You did, because he's just not a very good swimmer.
He just sort of floating a little bit with his life jacket on.
This is why we wordle. This is why we wordle, because when we get off the ship and do things, things happen.
So whenever we've been to Disney World and to Epcot, in the Mexico Pavilion, there's the river ride that's in there. And right at the end of it, when you're coming through the Mexico element of that part of it, there's a pair of sunglasses on, so we always reference that they're Graham's sunglasses. So that's your favourite one?
Caribbean, I loved it. Yeah, it really. I mean, I've always. I mean, of course, I've got to lather up in factor 50.
You do. We went to St. Thomas one time.
Yeah, you be careful how you say this now because
I will be very careful as to how I explain it. But we went on a speedboat ride where we
To
had
this
our own
little-
speedboat.
we went to this little private beach,
We
like a
did.
little beach with a beach
Yeah,
bar
so
and some,
you pull into the beach.
and a difficult to get to beach.
Yeah, I mean, they were tiny, weren't they?
I feel we can't tell this story.
We can.
No, we can't. We can't.
But we've got halfway through the story.
No, we can't tell this story. Either way, I was not appropriate for the beach.
Not because you won't wear
No,
the
no,
appropriate
no.
things.
Let's just keep it at that.
So we did that one. But my favourite cruise that we ever done was Singapore to Perth.
Oh, I forget about that.
Because Singapore is probably my favourite city I've ever been to.
We tried to count the ships as we left, and
We got over 100 and then lost count of where we got to.
yeah.
As you come out of it, there's just ships everywhere. But Singapore's just this amazing, vibrant city. But then we went up to Malaysia, and
Thailand.
and then down to we went across what's that line called with the fish? It's not the date line, is it?
Equator.
No, is it the equator? International line.
There was a kiss fishing, fish kissing.
Where you to kiss a fish. Maybe this was alcohol induced. But we crossed a line. There was a big celebration. You got a certificate so that you'd crossed the
You had
line.
to wear a toga. We didn't wear a toga, but people were wearing togas.
This
Poseidon or Neptune was there. Is this a dream?
This is a fever dream. We'd had too many cocktails one day for that one, I think. But yeah, that was sort of one of my favourite cruises that I can think of that we've done so far.
Yeah, it was great.
And that was it Navigator?
Navigator of the Seas, Royal Caribbean. And we had
which was the very first cruise ship we ever went on.
Yeah.
And that was sort of second time that I've been on it.
Third for me.
Yeah, you'd been on it at a separate time to me. So yeah. Well, we will sort of ramble on for another few seconds, see if there is any last questions. But if not, we will sort of slowly wrap this up. We have actually just had someone ask us again what it is that we're drinking that looks like mud. It's really not mud. So it's called the Witcher cocktail.
Yes, Denise suggested
it to us. The recipe is going on here. It includes rye whiskey, 1 piece of vanilla bean split, a bag of Earl Grey tea, 1 ounce of sweet vermouth. Then you put it in with some Angostura bitters, give it a shake, let it infuse overnight if you can do. Give it a good old sort of shake in there and garnish it with some orange peel and some brandied cherries. And it's really nice.
It's very warming for
It feels like a slightly fancier Negroni.
Yeah. That's what I'm going to say.
That took a lot longer to do because we had to infuse the rye overnight.
You did.
Which definitely took longer than I imagined. But like all good things come to those who wait. And it was a nice cocktail. Any last questions, Linz?
No, because I've nearly finished my drink.
Well, if that's how we're judging as to sort of when this should go, we will get to wrapping this up. This is our first ever live stream, so
as you can tell.
Yeah. Apologies if it's a bit rough, and apologies we started late. So we did have some technical difficulties that we've now fixed. We won't be doing live streams every week.
No.
But we will do them occasionally, and certainly at big milestones. We wanted to do this one. We did promise that we'd do one when we were about 100 subscribers. We said when we get to 1,000, we'll do one. Thinking, that'll take ages, and it took about another 7 months. So we did promise we would. So this is it. We'll do another one in the future if there is a demand for it. If you want to see us do more, please put them in there. One other quick question. What line have you cruised with most? Royal Caribbean?
Yes.
Because it was the first one we ever cruised with. We've got diamond status with Royal because we cruised with them about 10 times, I think.
Yeah.
So Royal definitely is the one that we've cruised with the most. but we haven't cruised with them for quite a few years now.
No, we need to do them again.
What was the last one we went on?
Probably
Anthem,
yours.
Quantum.
Oh, one of them.
So either Anthem or Quantum was the last one, I think, in 2018.
Mm-hmm.
So we're overdue going on a Royal one again. I'd like to do Wonder of the Seas. That looks really good. Because again, it's Oasis class. We did Symphony.
Harmony
in 2017, I think. And that's an amazing ship.
Yeah.
But it depends whether you like the really big ships, which the Oasis class is my favourite ship.
You like that?
So yeah, that one. Most recently, the ones that we've been on most, just in the short period of time, is Virgin, because we've been on it 3 times.
Yeah.
When it comes around to the end of October this year, when we do Resilient, we'll have done all 3 of the Virgin ships.
I'll have all 3 bags.
18 months.
All 3 tote
Well,
bags.
less than 18 months, about 15 months.
Yeah.
So yeah, tote bag for each one. So we will draw it to a close there with just under an hour. We will say
cheers, Marky.
Cheers, everyone.
Cheers. And have a lovely day.
And thanks for joining us on our first one, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.